Sievierodonetsk falls to Russia after one in every of war's bloodiest fights. Kyiv, Pokrovsk. Ukraine. Russian forces absolutely occupied the Jap-Ukrainian town of Sievierodonetsk on Saturday, both aspects stated, confirming Kyiv's biggest battlefield setback for more than a month following weeks of some of the battle's bloodiest preventing Ukraine referred to as its retreat from the metropolis, a tactical withdrawal to combat from higher ground in Lysychansk on the opposite financial institution of the Sievierodonetsk River. Pro-Russian separatists mentioned Moscow's forces had been now attacking Lysychansk. The fall of Sievierodonetsk, once home to extra than 100,000 human beings but now a wasteland, changed into Russia's largest victory considering taking pictures the port of Mariupol closing month. It transforms the battlefield within the east after weeks wherein Moscow's large gain in firepower had yielded solely sluggish profits. Russia will now are seeking to press on and capture greater floor on the other financial institution, whilst Ukraine will hope that the fee Moscow paid to capture the ruins of the small metropolis will leave Russia's forces prone to counterattack. President Volodymyr Zelensky vowed in a video deal with that Ukraine might win lower back the cities it misplaced. But acknowledging the conflict's emotional toll, he said, "We do not have a feel of the way lengthy it'll final, what number of greater blows, losses and efforts could be needed earlier than we see victory is at the horizon. The city is now below the whole occupation of Russia," Sievierodonetsk Mayor Alexander Stryuk mentioned on countrywide TV. They are seeking to set up their own order. Kirilo Budanov, Ukraine's Navy intelligence leader, advised that Ukraine was wearing out a tactical regrouping by pulling its forces out of Sievierodonetsk. Russia is using the tactic it utilized in Mariupol, wiping the town from the face of the earth, he mentioned. Given the conditions, keeping the defense within the ruins and open fields is now not viable. So the Ukrainian forces are leaving for higher ground to preserve the defense operations. Russia's defense ministry said Russian forces had hooked up complete control over Sievierodonetsk and the close-by town of Borisky. Not long after that, but, Ukrainian shelling from outdoor Sievierodonetsk pressured Russian troops to drop evacuation of human beings from a chemical plant there. Russia's TASS news organization quoted nearby police running with Russian separatist authorities as pronouncing. Alexei Arestovich, senior advisor to Zelensky, said a few Ukrainian unique forces have been nevertheless in Sievierodonetsk directing artillery hearth. But he made no point out of these forces putting up any direct resistance. Russia's Interfax information business enterprise mentioned a consultant of pro-Russian separatist opponents pronouncing Russian and pro-Russian forces had entered Lysychansk and have been fighting in city areas there. Russia additionally released missile strikes across Ukraine. At least 3 human beings were killed inside the city of Sarny, some 185 miles, 300 km, west of Kyiv, after rockets hit a car wash and automobile restore facility, said the nearby Navy management. Russia denies focused on civilians. Kyiv and the West say Russian forces have committed battle crimes. Seeking to tighten the screws on Russia, U.S. President Joe Biden and different group of 7 leaders attending a summit in Germany starting on Sunday will agree on an import ban on new gold from Russia, a supply familiar with the problem instructed. A German government source mentioned G7 governments also had been having very positive conversations on a probable price cap on Russian oil imports. It was horror. In the Ukrainian-held Donbass town of Pokrovsk, Elena, an elderly lady in a wheelchair from Lysychansk, changed into among dozens of evacuees returning from frontline regions. Lysychansk, it turned into a horror, the final week. Yesterday we could not take it any extra, she mentioned. I already advised my husband if I die, please bury me in the back of the residence. As Europe's largest land battle in view that World War II entered its 5th month, Russian missiles also rained down on western, northern and southern parts of the United States of America. 48 cruise missiles. At night time. Throughout entire Ukraine, Ukrainian presidential advisor Mikhailo Podolyak said on Twitter, NYSE, TWTR. Russia is still seeking to intimidate Ukraine, reason panic. Russian President Vladimir Putin dispatched tens of thousands of troops over the border on February 24, unleashing a battle that has killed thousands and uprooted tens of millions.